Gachiakuta creator Kaorana calls out toxic Western fan behavior, and this is what she had to say. From my perspective, this is a common sense rule, but if nobody says it, things will turn into chaos, so I'll say it. If someone brings unofficial settings or outright incorrect ones right in front of me and keeps saying, "What do you think about this? Hey, look at this. What do you think? Hey, over and over again," of course I'm going to reject it. Maybe people have forgotten, but I am part of the official side of Gachiakuta itself. What frustrates me is not the unofficial settings themselves, it's the people who throw childish tantrums about them. And so to give context to this statement that Kaorana, the author of Gachiakuta, said on Instagram, we gotta go back to a few days ago to where the author of Gachiakuta did a live stream on Instagram, and half the live stream Urana had to shut down fan canon, head canon, shipping pairs, if a character was trans or not, if the author was non-binary, all these different type of things, and also being asked if you're racist or not, and it was just a whole mess. And so when an author has to pretty much spend half a live stream basically shutting down what the fans are saying, you know things are getting pretty bad. And the fact that the author went on record on Instagram, on her official Instagram, and said she's getting frustrated with these type of individuals, I think really speaks a lot about what's been happening for the last few months. And so for those that are kind of out of the loop, let me kind of fill you in. So basically, a few months ago, the author of Gachiakuta was accused of being racist for something completely outside of her control. For context of this, there was a live-action play for Gachiakuta that was coming out, and basically there was characters that were not the proper skin tone. And so basically a lot of people said, "Oh, you must be a racist for not having the proper, actors playing certain roles." But the author of Gachiakuta straight up said they had no control over the actor selection or anything like that, and basically, regardless of their input, they had no control, but they were labeled a racist for that. Then you fast forward a few days after that, you had a character called Tamsi that was being called trans, and the author just straight up said, "No, Tamsi is not a trans character," completely shutting down headcanon that a lot of toxic fans had, and basically saying, "No, this is not what the character is not trans," etc., and people got very upset. Then, on top of that, within another few days after that, the author found out that apparently a lot of people were calling her non-binary, and basically the author's like, "Today I learned I'm non-binary, even though I'm not," and this obviously upset a lot of people. And so, if you're not seeing this, there is a pattern to where the author is constantly engaging with the Western side of her fan base, and they are definitely increasingly putting pressure onto the author, trying to make them fit a certain role or believe that she is this, when in reality she is not. And you can see that she's getting extremely frustrated with this community that she has definitely garnered in the last few months to even over a year now, and it's starting to reach a boiling point, especially when you have a public statement come out to where the author's just straight up calling a part of her fan base childish and having childish tantrums, and even frustrating her. And this is a really big thing that showcases what I've been talking about for a long time now when it comes to just these individuals that are so unbelievably toxic, and they are individuals that go into a community, they force their agenda, they force their politics onto a series, onto the author, and they don't give an absolute fuck about what the author actually thinks. Like, it's the entire conversation around Oda when he wrote Yamato, and now Yamato is a woman, but you have a lot of people, a part of the One Piece fan base, say that Yamato is a man. And FYI, for those that don't know, about a week ago, Oda did a whole little short comic showcasing that if Yamato continues to try to act like a man, she straight up dies. You have these individuals that join these communities, these fan bases, and they try to press their headcanon onto the author and try to make it canon. And it's clear that the author does not like this. I mean, legitimately just straight up saying, hey, what do you think about this? Hey, do this over and over again. It's going to cause the author to do the exact opposite. And so it's only a matter of time, honestly, if these individuals that keep commenting on Urana stuff like this, she's going to kill off their favorite character. She's going to do the exact opposite out of spite. And I feel like one of the big things, though, that this is really showcasing is that communicating with your audience is not always a good thing, especially if you're an author of a very popular work. And I feel like this really showcases like why individuals like Horikoshi Sensei, the author of My Hero Academia, doesn't really communicate a lot with their fan base. Because let's be blunt here, okay? Imagine throughout throughout the years of My Hero Academia coming out, if Horikoshi would have communicated with the Western side of their fan base more, like constantly in talks with them, responding to them, doing live stream and stuff, like imagine how bad that would be, especially with how toxic My Hero Academia's fan base was. And so when you look at, Urana, the author of Gachiakuta, she is communicating with her Western and Japanese fan base, and obviously it's having a negative effect on her mental health. It's very obvious, and I feel like it's only a matter of time until Urana either disconnects completely from the fan base and doesn't communicate with anyone, or maybe just straight up starts going on a tangent and just saying she hates them, or just completely shuts down their account. One or the other is going to happen, because with only in these last few months this amount of frustration and anger that's been kind of seeping to the surface from her, it's only a matter of time until something really bad truly does happen. But yeah, this is some wild stuff, honestly, because it's like I've been covering this drama with Gachiakuta for the last few months now, and to see it reach this point now where the author's just directly calling people childish is kind of crazy. I mean, Based, gonna say it, Based calling them out and, saying, yeah, you're being childish and having tantrums, but still, I only see this ending very poorly for the author as it continues on, because there is a reason why manga authors don't communicate. Like, they don't. Because you have people that go so crazy they wish death on people over small little things with a fictional character. So, imagine what type of brutal comments and DMs that this creator is getting on a daily basis for not, for instance, having a character trans. For instance, saying that the character isn't trans. Her saying that she's not non-binary, etc. Imagine the amount of hate and heat that she's getting because of stuff like that. I could not begin to imagine. But I will leave it at that. If you enjoy my content and you want more of my content to appear in your subscription feed, then please leave a like, please subscribe, does help me out a lot, helps with the algorithm, and be safe, stay healthy, guys. Chibi out.